Going on, everyone? I'm here. They put fake competitive NPCs around me, make them try to fight me for my peace of mind and confident focus. On the left side, the crow's going crazy every time I have hope. The seagulls are surrounding where I sleep. If you remember, I made a post on Facebook about a month ago that said anyone that has ever gotten one over on me on social media went insane, posting crazy stuff because they completely lost their mind days later. It's like whatever, for some reason when they compare themselves to me and get that victory, it power trips them so hard that they need to go to a mental hospital because they can't handle whatever power they think they got from one-upping me. Some guy, right? But here's the thing, is that if our bodies are empty except for our souls and our feelings and our context and the narrative and our relationships and all this stuff, we get filled up with information. And I guess what somebody's told me once is that my gift is that I get raw, creative, legendary, high vibrational light energy, and I can spend it however I feel like it. I just get filled up with resources so that I can create what I want. I can turn people into whatever I want. And I guess for whatever reason I just choose to help people. For a while I did use it to become a legendary conqueror. And so here's what we're doing. You need to get some type of insurance. If you have Vermont Medicaid, that would be fantastic, but some type of insurance that lets you not have to pay as much for over-the-counter medication. Step number 2 is to get prescribed vitamin D, because the sun is not giving as much as it should, because it's winter and because in general and because, I don't know, you need vitamin D. The next thing is you need omega-3 fish oil, because that's what your brain is made out of. So as we start this process again, it is 2023, the summer's coming up. It's time for all of us to get back into working order for the highest level of functioning possible. Step number 3 is to get prescribed a multivitamin so that the vitamins and minerals from that multivitamin that are no longer in the soil, so there's no longer any way to really take it out of the foods that we're eating. We have to get it refined down from the natural minerals that was condensed into a pill that we're going to have to take. So the multivitamin, omega-3s, vitamin D, you could take a B12, but you already have the multivitamin, and then probiotics to re-engage and reinvigorate and restart, reignite, re-stimulate all the bacteria in your gut responsible for making the serotonin and the norepinephrine and all the brain chemicals. Your gut is the factory that creates these chemicals that go into your brain that you use to do equations and process emotions and do all this stuff. Feel me? So you need that. Probiotics, vitamin D, multivitamin, omega-3. And you can get that shit prescribed or go to your dollar store. They sell them at the Dollar Tree for $1.25 for a month's supply. I'm a legend. Next thing you need to do is start, if you don't want to do a gym routine, you need to start a morning routine of just push-ups, sit-ups, squats, jumping jacks, these shoulder rolls, or whatever you got, pull-ups on the pull-up bar. You need to start getting in the habit of doing that. I think that was the best time of my stay in public housing, was having a pull-up and dip bar and having a bench press and having a punching bag. And I could just keep doing it whenever I felt like I could just watch a little bit of Game of Thrones and then do a set of as many as I could and just keep pushing myself and then keep growing. And I looked amazing, bruh. That's number 2. And when the blood's flowing, moving all that stuff around, you're taking the good stuff, and you do it in a fasting state, so like when you wake up in the morning, so your body doesn't have a chance to intake sugars, you can really get in and move around the stuff that's lodged in our bodies and our brains from wherever it came from. So I'd lock your doors, work out heavily, build up all that chemicals and shit. Take the right stuff. When you've built up that lactic acid and you're feeling the burn from that workout, hop in the cold shower so that you can send it past your blood-brain barrier and shoot it into your brain and get rid of all these toxic metals and minerals. And then once you get the serotonin from your gut, you'll be able to move up and really clean it out without smoking weed. After that, I would say, to make sure you get enough protein so that you can build a proper structure in your body and really build a good house for all this information. And then we can get into, let's get into it right now. The first thing is just learning how to not move at all. Breathing. If you smoke cigarettes or you smoke loon, which is paint thinner, the main ingredient of loon is paint thinner. You'll realize that our lungs have been coated with chemicals that destroy our natural ability to take in oxygen, which is just information. Which is why you need to be fasting. You need to be drinking water. Like, there's no way around it. You gotta do it, bruh. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So I'm not gonna spit yet because I like the way my hair went up. Once you learn to stop moving and start breathing, open your heart. What works for me is either getting in sunlight so I can really feel it hit me, and I can really start to learn how to feel my skin again. Because most of the foods we've been eating have destroyed every single organ system in our body responsible for functioning, so that they can program us however they want. So we're working on putting back the right stuff so that we can fight back as humans. So the sun is the best possible thing for any of us right now, because it's spewing out the most energy. We're getting in as much sunlight as possible with that vitamin D and with that omega-3s and with that multivitamin and with all that microbiotics, probiotics, plus workout schedule, plus getting in the cold showers, getting adequate sleep. Then imagine nothing at all. completely blank your mind, lose your mind and come to your senses, and then imagine everything at once. Just a big explosion of as much as you can imagine all at once. Just keep stacking it on top of each other. Rocks, Eiffel Tower, Twin Towers, Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, New York City as a whole, all the different skylines I can remember of New York City, all the times I've been to New York City, and just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And then when you feel pushback, two things is that you're in a frequency lock because we're under 5G all day, and personally I believe spirits are constantly around us trying to keep us in check. So you're in a frequency lock, you're not able to harmonize and make music, generate music from the instrument that your body is. But we're working on that with that practice that I just taught you. But your memories are good, like if you can go back into your memories and find a better reference point to how you felt before when you felt more free, it will show you the difference between what was and what is, and you can wiggle out the wicked webs they wove. Top of the morning to you. So once you do that, because we're teaching you how to be a conqueror. Once you do that, you find your anointing through raising your vibration to the highest peak possible, and then push your limiting beliefs upward, and then push everything you can upward into the heavens, basically. Just send everything you can up to the sky, and as high as possible. Just keep raising your vibration, drinking good water. Then you'll start to, as you get more and more of this good stuff in and you're kicking out the bad stuff, you'll be able to kick out all the disease that's in your body. The fungus that's among us. You'll be able to replace it with the good stuff. And that's when you'll start to connect to nature, and you'll start to find empathy again. You'll start to wake up and have these major breakdowns where you're crying in the shower because you didn't realize how fucked up everything is. And all that. But you'll be working out, so you'll be getting stronger. So even if you're scared, you'll be getting tough. So eventually it won't matter because the rest of these bots are just going to eat themselves into nothing. Feel me? The next thing is that you need to change your daily habits. Your mind is made up completely of your daily habits. What you're choosing to attack and what you're choosing to flee from. Your decisions. What worked for me when I was at my lowest possible, like when I was suicidal, not able to move, panic attacks every day, probably psychosis, in and out, stuck in my bed. Literally couldn't move for days, is I would just build up enough motivation to do one thing and focus on that one thing and change that one thing for the better, and then leave it there and don't mess with it so it doesn't degrade, like cleaning 5 feet of space in my apartment and then never going back to it so it stays perfectly clean. And then the next time I get that motivation, I'd go and do another 5 feet of space, and then eventually my whole room is clean, because like that momentum that you build up, it just gets easier and easier and easier because you're developing a habit. Just like I've been out in probably the worst parts of society for the past year, homeless, having to trudge through literal like sub-zero weather in the blizzard with nothing but the coat that I'm wearing right now, and having to do it every single day, getting up and going to get stuff and trudging through the stuff that used to terrify me, and now I'm good, I'm chilling, and people respect me and think I'm a badass. True story. So it's possible to heal your mind, it's possible to get better, but you really have to take full accountability and commitment that you want to change your life and you want to do better for yourself and for your loved ones. And that's the best advice that I could give you, and I hope that you take it, and I don't think you should ever talk to me until you are doing it, because if you're not doing it, you're just running yourself in circles, coming up with excuses. because you're not ready. But when you are ready, because I'm doing it, look. I am homeless. It's 25 degrees out. I'm still doing what I gotta do. Because there's a lot of people that are relying on me that just, for some reason, they just don't understand the things that I understand, so. Feels like every single person, save for a handful of people that I met, is basically the exact same. There's just levels of fakeness to realness, and for some reason I just operate outside of that. As long as I stay quiet. So, put that practice into work. Do it for a week. I will do it with you. If you need me to upload accountability videos, I will just upload a 1-minute video of me doing push-ups and me taking my little supplements and tell you about the progress I'm making. But I hope that if you find this video, you don't just scroll away from it, and that you really do something. I gave you the keys. Just watch it back every single day. I gave you everything you need to get yourself to a higher power, to a higher position in life. Then we can talk about what it's like to have a relationship with the sun and the heavens and all this stuff that I know. That when I found out, a lot of terrible things happened to me. So, but I think it's time that the world knows.